Congratulations, Mark Bozicevic, on your 2019 induction into the Water Ski Hall of Fame with the award distinction. How fantastic is this?
This is an honor I just could never have really dreamed of. I'm truly honored and humbled.
And you know, we chatted on the phone the other day, and I could feel you getting choked up a little bit just thinking of it and how much this means to you, because I personally got to witness all the hard work and the energy and the dedication and the love that you have put in and that you have for the sport. And how did this all begin? What was your beginning story?
As far as water skiing or Okehili?
Well, let's start with just water skiing.
Something, I grew up in South Florida and I just always wanted to do it and never really had the chance. And then I moved to Palm Beach County in the early 70s and started skiing, found some ski buddies and just kept going and joined the ski club. And it just was a passion. I can't explain it. I gave up everything else to ski, you know, except for work. I worked. People say, why aren't you at work? And I said, I'm skiing. And I said, well, I'd quit. If I didn't ski, I wouldn't have to work at all.
Well, you know, you've definitely had quite a neat career. You know, you started off in a ski club like so many of us do. How did that experience develop you as you move forward in later years to Okehili?
Well, our ski club started a long time ago, and I started as a president, I think, starting in 1976. And we had very poor conditions, and we were on a public lake, and it was hard to run a tournament. And so as time went on, we found out about a new park that was opening in Palm Beach County. And so not knowing much, I went to the meeting and presented water skiing, and they pretty much laughed at me and sent me on my way. But I sat there and listened and came back at the next meeting and presented it again in a little bit different manner. And they said, yeah, that's nice, but no. And that went on for almost 7 years.
Wow.
And finally they said yes. And I was excited, and we're getting all ready to do this. And I go out to the park one day, and there was no boat ramp. So I go down to the Parks Department, and they said, yeah, we got water skiing in, but there's no way to put a boat in. And so I felt crushed for a little while, and I came back the next day and said, what if we put the boat ramp in? And they said, okay. So I got, not really the ski club, but just a bunch of friends, and pulled our money and put a boat ramp in, and then it went from there.
And so how many lakes were there when you first started this? Because the main lake, we've been there, Okehili, has been phenomenal for state championships, regional championships, nationals, and a world championship, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But was it the main lake that you were able to get the ramp in on? The original boat ramp and the boat ramp that's there, I think, is the third one. It's in the same place. Originally, there was the main lake, and it went all the way. There was no separation between the main lake and the jump lake. And as time went on, we were able to work with the county and pay for construction equipment to come out and put the peninsulas in between the two lakes. And the east-west lake wasn't quite long enough, and it was a little bit narrow, and we finally got the ability to dig that out a little bit and make it a little bit longer and a little bit wider. And then in 1987, I think, we made a deal. We said we need more lakes. And so an engineer in the club and I went to a construction company, and they wanted fill, and we brought them to the county, and that's when they made a deal to dig the turnpike and the practice lake. Wow.
So those lakes came in I don't think anybody skied on them until 1989 or 90.
So you've got this ski club going, a lot of people involved in it, and then probably the biggest thing that you've dealt with in your career is putting on the World Championships.
You know, really the Nationals was the start of that. I had this vision of the Nationals or the Regionals should be the best tournament the skier goes to every year. I mean, if you work so hard to do it.
It should be something you remember and
right.
experience a great thing.
And it should be good for the skiers and for the officials and the vendors. And it seemed like, to me, it was not. And so I had a different idea about the Nationals, and I hired somebody to be the executive director of the Nationals. I don't know if you remember Linda Godfrey or not, but
yes, I do.
So, and like you're working with Polk County Sports Commission, we went to the Sports Commission and they helped us, and we made it a more professional thing. And we did the 86, 87, and 88 Nationals, and we really, not many people know this, two interesting Okie facts. We've done about 13 Nationals, but we've never got the bid for the Nationals when somebody else bid. Isn't that incredible?
Wow, that is incredible.
And so in 1988, Linda and I flew to Kansas City to meet with the board to bid for the Worlds, and they turned us down. And they were going to go to Indianapolis. And that spring, or sometime after that, they had a pro tour there that was a total disaster. And then they decided maybe we should go to Okie.
Well, we know things are going to be working right.
So yeah, that was a tremendous effort. We had what a crowd. The road, as you know it now, wasn't there, and we parked people on the non-finished road. We had buses and shuttles, and there were thousands and thousands of people there. It was very, very exciting.
Well, you know, through all of this, you've also managed to ski yourself, and very accomplished at that, national champion, and just got back from a Worlds that went pretty well for you.
The Worlds, gosh. I've been trying to get qualified for the Worlds, and I've missed going or qualifying by quarters of buoys several times, or been injured. And I went, and I was really, really excited to do that. It was I don't know, the tournament that I've been wanting to ski in, and I had never skied internationally, so it was a big surprise. I was supposed to ski on Tuesday morning, and then we get there and they said, no, Wednesday afternoon. And then they had I didn't know it was a 2-round tournament, and I ended up being in the second group, and had to run 32 off to qualify, which, you know, I pretty much do all the time.
Yes, you do.
But that was the hardest 32 I ever ran.
Yeah.
And then in the finals, I did okay. And then I was coming in, I was the number 7 seed, and I ended up 4th. So
that's fantastic.
Can't complain.
I can't complain at all. Well, Boz, as we lovingly call Mark in the ski world, congratulations on your induction in the Hall of Fame with the award distinction. And tonight's going to be very special, and I know you're going to glow up there and enjoy every second of it while you're there, and I'm glad that I'm going to get to be there with you enjoying it.
Well, I got to tell you, Hank, over the years, you've been announcing at Nationals and things, and there's nobody that said more nice things about me than you. And,
wow.
and I can tell you that both Joy and I really appreciate that.
Well, you've done so much for us, and I think people need to know that, and it's my pleasure to tell your story.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.